What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today we are in X-Plane 11 at Princess Juliana International Airport, and we're going to be flying the LET L410U VPE. This is the cargo version. TNCM, which is Princess Juliana, with Maho Beach right here. So we're going to be flying from here. If we pop this open, and we're going to be flying south to TNC, TNCS, Saba, the world's shortest commercial runway. So, I'm still very, very new to this aircraft, so I'm not going to be doing all the procedures correctly. But without further ado, let's hop right into it. So we can hop up in the cockpit here, and we've got some views set up for when we need that. So let me grab my checklist real quick. Pull that up. Oh. Okay, nope. Sorry, I opened up the wrong checklist. Okay, so I have these checklists that I got from this awesome YouTube video. I'll see if I can link that in the description if I remember. But, so we start off with batteries 1 and 2 go on. Intercom on. Nav 1 and VF1 or VHF1 on. GPS, so we can verify our route there. So let's go to our flight plan. We can, I think, can you flip these? Okay, I guess we're just gonna have to clear this. Yes, and we'll be going from TNCM. That's not what I want. TNCM. Let's make sure that. Oh, sorry, but getting a bunch of notifications. Then we can get TNCE, which is where we're going. So TNC and E. No. Is that TNCE? Let's just double check on our map. TNCS, okay. So, click through here, and S. Got that, enter, accept, and that looks all good. So we got our route verified. We can get our inverters, which are up here. I get the 36 volt inverters, which automatically do the 15 volt AC inverters. Then we get the standby gyro Ryzen that can go on. VHF2, NAV2 on. ADF1, ADF2, gyro compass 1, gyro compass 2, and MRK can all go on. So make sure those are all on. And these are all on. The batteries are on. That looks good there. So make sure you turn your position lights on. Click on that. And fuel pump, and now we're on to the before start checklist. So fuel pumps left and right. It's fine, right here on the third row from the top. And cross feed can go on. Prop feathering both, so we gotta make sure both those are on. IELU left and right both can go on. And engine starting left and right can both go on. Then make sure your anti-collision beacon is on. And now we move on to the start checklist. Engine start checklist. Hold on, let me just make sure. Okay, so before we do that, we've got our door open. So let's hop back here. It's not the best modeled cabin, but we can come back here and where's the handle for this? Somewhere around here. Oh, there it is. Pull that door shut. Make sure it's secure. Really quiet out here and the weird windows floating. But I'll have the link in the description to this aircraft. It's 100% freeware, which is absolutely awesome. So that looks secure. hop back up in here, and we can make sure our throttles are idle. Let's make sure those are idle. They are. Okay, so engines, prop area is clear. I already checked that. Engine right. So these are the two engine starts right here. This is going to be our right engine start right here. So let's watch right here for that 20. You can hold it, and it's really fast start. So as soon as it passes 20, you can take the fuel condition lever and try to throw it up there. Gotta get closer. Hold on. Throw it forward. Okay. Now it has fuel. And we can do the same for the left once this is stabilized. So still, RPM still climbing. It looks good there. And we can do the same for the left. And it is past 20. Add that shut-off valve. And both those are all the way forward. Okay. And the right and left gens can go on now. So it automatically switches the AC and DC on, no matter which one you choose. And that is good. Okay, now to the after start checklist. We close the guard. Engine starting left and right can go off. So these two switches. Okay, windshield heat. So windshield heat is in the first officer's side behind the yoke. You can move that. Move it. Wait, what is it doing? I released the parking brake. That's not what I wanted to do. Make sure that that's still on. Just hit Y. So windshield heat, you just pull it across right there to number 2. And the DME, AMS, so these are all down here. I don't think they work, but that's fine. Some of them don't. This one's not named. But I just turn those all on the special equipment. And ice detector, rotary, and static. Turn those on. Passenger cabins, 1/3, 2/3, and fasten seatbelt, even though it's a cargo flight. And fuel crossfeed can go off. Now we move on to the before takeoff checklist. So we've verified our fuel quantity. Takeoff briefing we've done. Flaps 18. Set that. Flap lever is right here. And elevator trim is already set, but it is right here if you'd like to mess with that. And altimeter, let's get that since our ADAS isn't yet set up here. You just click on our airport through here, details, and 2997. So let's plug that in. You plug it in right here. 2997, right there. That's good. Pilot heat, or pitot heat. So pitot heat is over here. Click both of those, and that looks good. Landing lights on, transponder on. So the transponder is right here. Make sure that it is on. And we've just got a bunch of 2s in there. Okay, landing lights. That's what I wanted to get. So if you go up, it's taxi, down's landing. We'll just put it into taxi for right now. And our transponder's on. GPS mode on the Garmin. It is not in that, so I think it's CDI. Yep, GPS mode now. Autopilot, arm nav, and vertical speed. So we can come down here, hit nav, and vertical speed. Vertical speed we're going to put at about 6.1. That looks good. Oh, probably want to make it positive. That would make sense. Okay. And the next thing is after takeoff. So since it's a very short departure on out of here, don't really have to worry about much else. I think since we might have some problems, let's actually get rid of this again. We can just turn our airframe de-icing on right there. Without further ado, I think, let's just get rid of the yoke. I think we're ready to get on out of here. So if we throw into third person view, see our flaps are down, the engines are spinning, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna just taxi on out of here, flip a U-turn and taxi down to the end of the runway. Got some overcast clouds today, so let's just release that parking brake and add a little bit of thrust. You can pretty much taxi on idle in this plane, but let's just perform our turn on out of here. Okay, so we're back in the cockpit, and we've kind of just lined up right here. On our departure out of here, it's going to automatically fly us a heading 209er, direct to TNCS. So the runway heading is 10, so we can plug that in here. That's 12, it should be right there, I believe. I think so. I'm not 100% sure. Let me just add a little bit more thrust so we can really get on out of here. You can pretty much throw our landing lights on since we don't need much of these. So that's all good. You can look at this panel right here, and it says we've got our isolation valves, our lights are on. Isolation valve over there is on too. So everything is not out of the ordinary. So let's just taxi on out of here. Got head shake enabled. You look up here, my plugins, we've got some of them on here. I don't know if better pushback works for this aircraft, but I'm curious. I'm gonna throw it into one of these wing views. See, we've got working flight controls. Got another view on the other side. Just change it a little bit. Make sure that it actually, you can actually see out of it. Oh, that's not good. You want to go in the taxiway. That's important. So I'm still very new to this aircraft, so I'm probably doing a bunch of these procedures wrong, and it's very likely that I will overspeed this aircraft at some point during this flight. So let's just taxi on down to the end of the runway over here. Won't have any problem getting off the ground. But in Saba, it's going to be a very interesting landing if I even make it to the ground. But this aircraft is free on the X-Plane forums. It's been out there for a little while, but I decided I would start flying with it. Got a little bit of speed. Just gonna kind of roll it out. And we're gonna flip around here. And this is the famous Maho Beach to our right, over there. Okay, let's just turn onto the runway and we can just fire on right out of here. So we're facing forward, and we can add that thrust. We're going to want to bring it up right around 100%. In this case, since we have a long runway, we can just bring it up to 90. Will be good. This aircraft measures speed in kilometers per hour, not knots for some reason. We can pull up right here, and we're airborne. Okay. Again, positive rate gear is going up. We can retract our flaps. That looks good. So if we come up here, our autopilot. We can turn our autopilot on. It's a little violent, but it'll turn us right on out of here. Do a little flyby view. So we're just rocketing on out of Princess Juliana. So if you look down here, we're about 90% thrust. There's no auto throttle in this aircraft. Our RPM is around 20. So through climb, we can bring this back to about 19. It's usually best. It's a little hovering around 18.5, but that will be just fine. Shake got a little off on me. Okay, let's look up here. Everything on this panel looks fine. We can switch our landing lights off since we're pretty far away. So the climb is 1900 RPM. You can only have a full throttle for about 5 minutes. Autopilot is as required. Airframe de-ice as required. Prop de-ice as required. De-icing separator valve left and right as required. I think we're pretty much good on those. We're in the Caribbean. Landing lights are off. And the next checklist is before landing. So we're flying through the clouds right now. Might just throw this on just for the sake of it. Never know. Better safe than sorry. So we're gonna climb on out of here. We're climbing through 2,500 feet. Right around now. Let's add a little bit more vertical speed. Here has a little chart. So this is kilometers. I don't know if this reading is right, but 100 kilometers per hour is 54 knots. This represents 100. We're flying around 30 knots, which I don't think I trust. I don't know if I trust this. It says I'm flying 169 true knots. Yeah, we look right here, we're like 168. I'm not going to trust this. I'm just going to go off of this. And just make sure this is right. We look down here. We're still climbing at a pretty high rate. We're going to head up to about 5,000 feet. We're about to hit 4,000. Probably level off 5,000 and cruise over to Saba. Saba is a very, very unique airport. It has the smallest commercial runway in use, which is kind of interesting, but I have no idea how well I'll be able to land there. So that is going to be very, very interesting. So we're about to hit 5,000 feet. So let's look at this autopilot here. This all the way down to 0. And nope. Let's make it 0. Come on, hit 0. No. Oh, I got it to 0 for a second. Come on. It's so jittery. Okay, I need to turn head shake off. Shake settings off. Okay, and bring it here and off. Okay. We've leveled off, lost a little bit of altitude, but 4,500 feet will be just fine. So we're cruising straight towards TNCS. So what we're going to do on our approach is we're going to come in around and come kind of to the southeast into the runway. So if we click on here, I believe it is, I don't know what runway it is. It's right here, their altimeter is 29 or 905. So we'll tune to that in just a second. Since this is an unpressurized aircraft, we're not really going to exceed high altitude. So let's just put it in right now. Might as well. We've got just level flight. We can pull back on our throttle to about 60, just as a safe speed, since we're traveling about 200 knots right now. So 60 looks good. I'll catch you right before we begin our descent. but we're gonna program our arrival into here. I don't know how well this is gonna work since I'm not really good at this. So let's select our arrival. After that, there's no arrival here. So let's pull up. I'm gonna check Google Earth real quick. So the runway we're gonna be coming into is 12. Okay, so let's do select approach. Let's try that. There's none. Okay. I'm gonna totally wing this. So 209-degree heading. There's the right there. So let's begin descending quite quickly, actually. So I do not. We're gonna probably end up circling the island since the airport's right there. So we can actually begin our turn that way. And let's switch this to heading select. So we're gonna turn bound that way. So let's take a look at our before landing. So we're gonna have gear down, flaps set, prop speed max, landing lights on. All pretty self-explanatory. And that's actually the end of the checklist since these are custom made. Okay. Well, this is going to be interesting. We're going to level off right here. Looks like we're flying the downwind approach. So let's make sure we descend all the way down. Gonna make an even steeper descent. Hold on. We're not flying 35 knots. That's not true. How could we be flying 35 knots? I don't trust this at all. Okay. Let's make... Oh, we're about to hit 2,000. So let's make a 90-degree turn to heading of 21. And we'll ease up a little bit on the descent. So it looks like we're coming through 2,000 feet right now. Whoa. That is a little low. Oh, just keep it 0. We can... Oh. A little quick there. 230 knots. So let's deploy our speed brakes, or spoilers, for a moment to slow down. And turn another 90 degrees. And we'll get slow enough. Try and get 120. Drop that gear. Drop the first set of flaps. Add a little bit of thrust. So we do not want to get too low. Okay, things are looking just okay. Keep our turn a little bit more. So we have that runway in sight. Our brakes are down. Prop speed looks good. Let's actually make sure that's 100%. Or the props are 100%. So, turn a little bit more. I think we're going to hand fly her the rest of the way. This is traveling 22 knots. I don't really believe that. And we can begin a light descent. Around 2 meters per second. Heading down. flaps too. We can pretty much, let's idle those throttles so we don't get overspeeding. You just took off the autopilot. We're on manual flight. We're gonna try to glide her in most of the way since we do not want to overspeed or underspeed. This is a very tricky approach. It's really dead. Don't want to fail this. Okay. Gotta get ready for this. It's all gonna happen so fast. I just armed our spoilers a little early. Oh. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Just full reverse. Jeez, we stopped quickly. Oh, that was probably the most unlegit landing I've seen, but dear God. I didn't use any, like, saloon mode or anything. That was totally just flying it. But we almost instantly stopped. Just add a little bit of brake there. We can park over to our left. Just let's make a quick turn right here. And the throttles. And park it here. Okay. There's no general shutdown procedure, but I think we just pull the fuel cutoffs for these and watch the engines die down, pull up our flaps. That was rough, but I'm surprised that we made it in. We'll do a few replays in just a second, but there's not much of a shutdown to this aircraft. Landing lights I didn't turn on since it was broad daylight, but yeah, let's throw back to those replays. Well, I would like to thank you all for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. This is a really interesting approach into Saba, a very interesting island, but I hope you all enjoyed. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time.